Hey everybody, and welcome to the video. This is Josh here, and today we're talking about a new style of diet that might be right for you. Let's get into it. So it is a very chilly morning here in Portland today. I think it's like 42, 43 degrees. Super cold, gotta get used to this again. This week has been very busy and hectic for me. The last 2 weeks I've gotten called in for a 6th day at work on my day off because someone had called in, and I've been working really hard at getting back into all of my routines, catching back up with you guys. It's been a crazy hectic week. I know I've talked about this before, strategies for what to do when things get stressful or difficult. Stepping back a bit, focusing on the core basics that'll get you most of the results. And that was definitely something in the forefront of my mind this week, being so busy. As you guys know, I'm a big proponent of flexible dieting. I really like it because it doesn't adhere to any one style of diet. It's something that can be tailored to fit however you need it to into your life. And that's why I really like it. But I know sometimes tracking macros can be a little daunting. One, if you're new, and this is all a big change for you, I definitely understand how overwhelming it can be to have to worry about all of that stuff, making sure you're hitting your protein, your fat, your carbs, your calories, going to the gym. When things get tough and you have too many things to worry about, it leaves you in a very vulnerable place to sticking to your diet. And even if you're not new and beginning, sometimes life gets stressful and tries to get in the way. You might not have all of the time and the brain power to put 100% effort into flexible dieting and into doing all of that stuff. So to get back to my point, when things are difficult when you're new, or when things get difficult when you're stressed out or busy, it's sometimes beneficial to take a step back, focus on the core, most important things that are going to keep your progress going, or at least prevent you from falling backwards. And this is what I wanted to talk about. I've seen with a little more popularity over the last couple of years, especially on the weight loss related subreddits on Reddit, and that is simply a calories in, calories out diet. A lot of times you'll see it abbreviated as CICO, and as big of a fan of flexible dieting as I am, I think there's definitely a place for this in most of our lives. Essentially all you're doing is you're setting your calorie goal, and as long as you hit your calories, you're good to go. You can eat whatever foods you want as long as you hit your daily calorie goal. I almost like to think of it as flexible dieting light. It's all of the same idea and the same things I love about flexible dieting, being able to be tailored to every individual person. You're just not tracking the macronutrients. You're only tracking the overall calories. But I think this would be a very useful tool for those of you that might be struggling with flexible dieting if you tried to jump right into it from the beginning of your weight loss and are maybe having trouble, or for those of you that are having trouble staying on track, stress from work or family stuff or life events, any sort of external stressors that are trying to prevent you from sticking to your plans. This would be a great way for all of you to still know that you're on track, still know that things are working well, but you just have a little bit less difficulty. It's a marathon and not a sprint, and we have to make sure that we're in it for the long term. If you try and do anything too extreme, it's just gonna backfire. And in an ideal world, I would still absolutely recommend flexible dieting. Hitting those macronutrients do have a lot of benefits when your calories are restricted, and that's mainly to ensure that you maintain your muscle mass that you already have, and to make sure your hormones are working properly and your digestion's working properly. But simply tracking your calories is going to get you the majority of the results. Again, with that 80-20 rule, 20% of the work is going to get you 80% of the results. But the main point I wanted to make with this, I think simply tracking your calories over tracking your macros is a great way to get into flexible dieting or transition into a healthier lifestyle. So tracking all of those different macronutrients definitely have a function and a purpose, but strictly speaking, weight loss, the calories are the only thing that matters. So I think this would be a great, easy way to transition into a diet, transition into a healthier lifestyle. The only setup required would be to figure out your TDEE, and that's your total daily energy expenditure. Essentially, it's just how many calories you burn in a day. You subtract 500 from that number, and then you hit that number every day. And that is it. That's how you lose weight. That's how you diet. It is as simple as that. So if you ever see that term around CICO or calorie tracking, calories in, calories out, it's worth a shot if you're struggling with dealing with too many things when you're losing weight. Take it back to the basics if things get tough. You know, as long as you're hitting your calories, you're still on track. It's all about setting yourself up for success and making your weight loss as easy as possible. You know, for those of you that follow different styles of diets, I know there are a lot of you that don't follow flexible dieting or track your calories either. You know, taking that time to track your calories at some point, even if it's a temporary thing, and even if you prefer losing weight with keto, going through that calorie tracking regimen will bring you more knowledge and experience for teaching yourself how to maintain your weight loss than anything else I've ever done. Because this calorie tracking is essentially what I do for maintenance. I'll do a rough add of my calories usually. You know, for my maintenance is right around 3,000, so I try and hit about 3,000-ish every day. That's been my preferred method of maintenance as well. So hopefully that helps for you guys. You know, it's been a really busy, stressful week for me. And that's something I always think about when things get tough. Drop it back to the basics. Get what you need to get done so you can still stay on track. Because overloading yourself is only setting yourself up for failure. Know what you're able to achieve. Go all in on your strengths. Avoid your weaknesses. And just set yourself up as best you can to stay on track. But that was all I really wanted to say about that. Catching back up this week. I don't want to make it sound like I'm having a rough week or anything. Just been very, very busy. In general, I prefer being busy. I like having something to sink my teeth into. I also wanted to check with you guys, does anyone have any recommendations for good waterproof boots that still just look like normal, nice boots I can wear to work? I paid the price last year not having anything waterproof with some very wet feet. The rainy season here is starting and I don't want a repeat of last year. So if you have any boot recommendations for me, that'd be amazing. Leave me a comment down below with that. Another thing I would love to know, what style of diet do you follow and how do you like it? I'd love to have a good poll to see what different things people follow here. I know I've seen flexible dieting, I know I've seen keto, I know I've seen vegetarian, vegan folks. That'd be great to hear what everyone follows, how they like it. And this week's episode was not one of them. But please, 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 if you have any situations, topics, problems, concerns that you want me to cover in these, I love that new Q&A format, so leave me your situations down below. But leave the video a like if you enjoyed it, and subscribe if you're not already. I put these out every Monday, and I put other videos out every Friday. But until next time, I'll talk to you all later. Have a good one.